I during my hiatus from work, I delivered Greek food. Drove in a car and stuff. Some people are crazy. If the bill was like $4.70 or something, I'd go up to the door and be like, "It's $5." I wasn't playing with no 30 cents crap. I was like, $5. And they'd be like, "Well, they told me on the phone it's $4.70." I said, "Yeah, but I ain't giving you 30 cents, so it's $5." Yeah, and someone fight with me over it. You know, I'm like, because I didn't want to. If you tell them like $4.50, they'll give you $5 and give you like a 50-cent tip. And it's like, no way. It's already $5, so now you got to give me a tip on that. I don't know $4.50 crap. And with the Grubhubs and stuff, when they do that, the driver knows how much tip he's getting, so that it inspires him to either drive slow or drive fast. And so if you don't tip, don't be surprised if your food is cold, because it's hard to get a driver to take the order. They fight over the $10 tip orders. They don't fight over the $2 ones. They fight somebody to take it. They don't fight for it. They fight so they don't want it. So I remember I did like a $300 order, and it was at a doctor's office. I was on the 3rd floor or something, and there was an elevator, but they had, $300 order. They had a lot of stuff, and it was a Grubhub. And they gave a $6 tip. I was like, "What are you, crazy? On a $300 order, you give me a $6 tip?" So I got there and I called the office. It was on the Grubhub order, the phone number. I called the phone number, and I'm like, my back's kind of hurting. You got to come down. The van is down at the door. Bring another person. 2 people come down and get all the food. You can have all your food. So, $6. I wasn't carrying it upstairs. I was like, "Fuck you." I drove it to the store. That's all. If you want it, come get it. I didn't tell them that, but whatever. You don't pay, you don't play. So I was like, "Screw you." But lesson learned. They came down and got their stuff. I think that'll make 2 trips. I laughed. I was sitting there laughing. Whatever. I don't know. It's people, and the cheapest people, the rich people. The rich people give you a $2 tip, and I don't know what that show was. It was a rich house in a rich neighborhood, and it was a movie. And the guy went up to the door, the delivery guy, and the old lady thought she was giving him like $1 million, and she gave him like a quarter. And she's living in this like $1 million house, and she gave him a quarter. And he's like, "I think you need this more than I do." Crazy people, crazy. And the poor people, they give the bigger tips. Because most of those poor people, they work for tips. They work for tips, so they know what it's like, and they don't screw the people that work for tips. And that's why I guess I do what I do too. I'm in the same mentality. I work for tips, so I know, and I don't screw people in when they work for tips. Now, I don't like all these new stores. They all have that little tip jar at the cash register. No. That don't fly. I don't put anything in those. I don't put anything in those. The store's got to pay their cashier. If they don't pay their cashier, they don't deserve a store. So no. I don't tip that. But drivers and waitresses, sure. I really don't go to bars, so I don't deal with bartenders. I don't like when they put the tip on the check and then expect you to tip again. Like you didn't read it or something, like you're stupid. It's like 17%. And then you're not going to tip me? Like it's on the bill. No, that don't count. I'm like, oh yeah, it does to me. counts out of my pocket.